Hello and good morning to everyone. So our today's lead code question is 3867, which is sum of GCD of formed pairs. So basically in this question we are given an integer array nums whose length is n. Now using this nums array we have to construct another array that is named as prefix GCD, right? So to construct this array what we have to do is for each index I we have to take the maximum element till that index, right? That is we have to take maximum of all the elements from the element or index 0 to that particular index I, and then the prefix GCD of I will be the greatest common divisor of that current element and the maximum element till that index, right? So the GCD of those two numbers will be the ith element in prefix GCD array. So this way, using the nums array, using the nums array, we will find the maximum of ith element and then take nums of I, and then we'll take the GCD of these two, and then we'll get the ith element of prefix GCD. So this way we'll make the prefix GCD array. So once we make the prefix GCD array, what we have to do is, so the next thing that we do is we have to sort the prefix GCD array in non-decreasing order, or we can say in increasing order, right? We have to sort the prefix GCD array. Then what we have to do is then we have to form the pairs. Now see how will we have to form the pair. So for forming the pairs we have to take the smallest unpaired element with the largest unpaired elements. So already we have sorted the array. So we'll take the first element, then last element, then second element, second last element. So in this way we'll form the pairs. Now what we have to do, now we have to repeat the process of forming the pairs until no more pairs can be formed. So once all the elements are formed in the pairs, then we have to stop. And then what we have to do is for each formed pair we have to compute the GCD of the two elements, low element high element, right? And then we have to add this GCD to our answer, right? And now it is given, suppose if here we have odd elements, right? Then we have to skip the middle element, we don't have to take that, right? Because if only one element is left, then we won't be able to form a pair with for that element, and at the end we have to return the sum of the GCD values of all the formed pairs, and we have to return that, right? So let's see the examples. So here we are given this array 264, right? So 264, what is the maximum element? So for up to this index, up to I is equal to 0, the maximum element is 2, right? So prefix GCD of I. So GCD of 2 and 2 is 2. Now next element is 6. So what is maximum of 2 and 6? 6 is maximum. So again GCD of 6 and 6 is 6. Now again maximum of 6 and 4 is 6. Now GCD of 4 and 6 is 2, right? So we get our prefix GCD array as 262. So next thing what we do is we have to sort this array. So we'll get 2 2 6. Now we'll form pairs. So 2 and 6 will form the pair. So first GCD of 2 comma 6, it is 2. Now only one element is left, so we won't be taking that element, we'll be ignoring that element. So our answer is the sum of the GCD value is 2. So 2 is our answer, right? So let's see the constraints. So n, which is a number of elements in the nums array, so that is up to 10 ki power 5. So we have to go with either big O of n solution or n log n solution, and each element in the array is, that is nums of I is up to 10 ki power 9, that is from 1 to 10 ki power 9 we can have the value in the nums array, right? So let's see the approach. So basically what we'll do is we'll simulate whatever given in the question. So in the question, first thing that is given is we have to make a prefix GCD array, right, in which every element is basically the GCD of the current element and the maximum element that we have seen so far, right? So the first step that we'll do is we'll build the GCD array, prefix GCD array. So for that what we'll do is we'll traverse from left to right, and then we will maintain the maximum value or maximum value that we have seen so far, or maximum element that we have seen so far, right? So whenever we go to a new element, first of all we'll update the maximum. And then take the GCD of the maximum and the current element, and then store that particular value, right? So if we'll see an example, so we have taken this nums array 6, 10, 15 and 9, and initially will be at index number 0. So what will be our maximum initially? It will be 6. Then what we'll do is, then we'll take GCD of current element is 6, maximum is 6. So GCD of 6 and 6 is 6. So we store that element. Then we go to next index, then we update the maximum of 6, and then now new element is 10. So which one is maximum? So 10 is greater, and then we'll take GCD of maximum comma current element is 10, so we get 10. Then we move to next element, maximum is 15, again GCD of 15 and 15 is 15. Then we go to 9, maximum is now 15 not 9, so GCD of maximum comma current element is 9, so that is 3, right? So we get our prefix GCD array as 6, 10, 15 and 3. Now next thing that that was given in the question, that we have to sort this. So after sorting, this will become 3, 6, 10 and 15, right? So we have sorted it. So after sorting, we need to form the pairs. So for that, what we'll do is we will use two pointer approach. That is, we have a low pointer and we have a high pointer, right? And this will form the pairs until low pointer is less than high pointer, not equal, because we do not have to consider a single element. So until low is less than high, then we keep forming the pairs. So first pair is GCD of 3 comma 15, that is 3. Then we shift the low by +1, high by -1, and then we take the next pair, that is GCD of 6 comma 10, so that is 2. Now the sum is 3 plus 2 5, right? The sum is 5. So that's our final answer. So if you'll see the code part, so basically what we have done, we have taken a maximum variable and then we have iterated the array from left to right direction, right? And then first thing we are doing is we are updating our maximum element, that if our number is greater than maximum element, we will update the maximum element, and then we'll take the greatest common divisor of maximum element and the current element, and then we store that in the same array. Like instead of making a new prefix GCD array, I am storing in the same nums array, right? And then once we get the updated nums array, that is, let's say, prefix GCD array, then we sort that array, and then we have taken two pointers, low pointer and high pointer, and then we are using a while loop, which is until low pointer is less than high pointer. We'll find the GCD of the pair, add that GCD to the answer, and then update our pointers, and at the end we will return our result. So I hope I am able to explain the solution properly. So if you like the video, please make sure to like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.